Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, we're doing it. We're going to get a little witchy. Today, we're going to start making our altar. Now, this is your very common space that you'll be doing all your work from. Now, granted, you could take your work anywhere. This is your space. This is all yours. This is where your power resides. This is where you keep all of the things that mean the most to you, as well as all of the tools that you'll need to be doing all of your spell work. So let's get into it. As far as the actual altar itself, it can be anything. It can be a box in a corner with a beautiful cloth over it. It can be a shelf on a wall, which is actually what I have, a very large, long shelf my husband made for me. It's beautiful, and it's up on the wall, and it's very long. I can actually get quite a few things on there. Or an old end table, nightstand. It just can be anything that you want it to be. There's even people that do mobile altars by laying something out in cloth, and then when they're done with it, they roll it up, fold it, tie it, and put it in a bag. So as far as the actual furniture per se, you can make it anything. It's just got to be a surface to which you can rest things on that will hold the weight of it, and it can be placed anywhere. Although I will ask that you do not put them at the bottom of stairways or right next to doorways. Couple reasons for this. Don't worry, it's nothing witchy, it's just common sense. What happens when we walk in the door or we get to the bottom of the steps? We look for a place to set things down on. That's not going to be okay. All right? Your altar is your sacred space. And that demands respect, most of all. Most of all. Don't put your cell phones on it, your keys, the glass of water you walk down the steps with. Set a bag on it, because you'll just be right back. Doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and keep your altars in sacred spaces. It is a sacred space, so let's keep it in a sacred space. Put it in the corner of the room. Like I said, I have mine up on the wall. You can put them anywhere, just not by the doors, not at bottoms of stairways. Once you've done that, and you've chosen your special spot, and you've got the table surface you can work on, let's go to cloths. Now, I prefer putting an altar cloth, which can, by the way, can be anything. It can be something that means something to you, someone's shirt that meant something to you. It can be a cloth you order offline. You can go into a store, buy some material, and make your own. It doesn't matter. Remember, it's all about you. So whatever you resonate with, that's what you can have as your cloth. The only reason I strongly encourage having cloths is because spell work can be messy. It can have ash. It can also leave a lot of residues and candle wax and things like that. You don't want to ruin the surface of your actual altar. And if you're putting it on a box because you can't afford anything fancy right now, you don't want to get that wet either. And sometimes there's moon water used in them or essential oils, and those can actually soften that cardboard up, not making that very viable for you, okay? Unless, if you're really on a super tight budget, you can invert a cookie sheet. Flip that over on there, and that'll be good enough for you too to protect that box and still keep it in your sacred space. Throw a cloth over it. No one's to know any better. Remember, it's about you. It's about what you need, what you can use, and what you can afford, of course. Nothing, and I'll say this now and probably many times throughout this, nothing in witchcraft should be super expensive. Now, maybe when you first start out and you want to get some of these things that resonate with you, making that initial investment in yourself and in your craft, but after that, it really shouldn't. And you know what? It works in the reverse too. Go ahead and start with these super low budget things right now and work your way up to getting the nicer things that you would like. Either way, remember, it's what resonates with you. It is all powered by your intentions, not so much the tool. That tool is only powerful for you because you've put the intention into it. So I prefer having a cloth. Now, there's lots of people I do know that do not like cloths. They like the natural wood. Again, that's purely your choice. There's no right or wrong. I want you to personalize this. So before we get into all the different things you can have on an altar, I really, really, really want to emphasize that, again, personalize it to you. Again, there's no right or wrong, and this is your power, your sacred space, not anyone else's. Okay? No one's opinion can be put into it, no one's advice can be put into it. This is all about you. So put it where you want, set it up the way that you want, and now we'll just go through the various things you can choose to have on it, or for spell work or anything like that, and it's up to you as to what you would like to add to that then, okay? So let's move on. These are things that you can obviously have on there. We can go to, see, we've gone through the place, the cloth. We can go with statuettes. Now, it depends, again, on what faith you're following, what belief system you're living your life's rules by. Whatever resonates with you, statuettes are always a great piece for an altar. The purpose of your altar is to remind you of the worship, the work, the craft, all of those things. It's to always remind you it's there for you, that it's in your everyday life. You walk by it, boom, it's in your mind because you saw it. That's its power. It is no different than walking into any church or place of worship, and they've always got that central thing that connects everyone, connects their energies, connects their beliefs, connects their intentions and their prayer. This is no different. This is your sacred space, your place to put all of your intention, and it'll always remind you that it's there when you need it. Now, statuettes are always a great piece to put on there because they always grab your attention. You can do Buddhas, you can do crosses, you can do the Wicca star, you can do a six-pointed star. It doesn't matter whatever statuette or form of anything that you would like to put on there is usually a really great piece because it keeps you connected. It's easier for you to be able to get in tune, kind of draw you in so that you get into that space and really go to work, okay? Now the other things that you can put in there are candles, charms, talismans. You can also use, of course, my favorite, stones and crystals. And of course, selenite being very important to put on that altar. When you do have stones and crystals, that selenite cleanses all of them, keeps them recharged without needing to be recharged itself. It is a fantastic piece. I have this big one that my daughter just got me, and it's beautiful, and you can just feel it. It's great. Some of them come in spires, wands. They can come in where they're cut in different facets and designs. They also can come in little discs, almost like little rounded stones that have been tumbled. It doesn't matter, whatever, again, resonates with you. I would highly recommend getting a selenite for your altar to keep it charged, okay? Candles are really good to have. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money doing it. I even show you on my website how to make your own, but you can even go to the dollar store and you can get candles there. You can get them nice long tapers, 2 for $1, or birthday candles are great because they're already in the colors that you need for spell work, and it doesn't require a lot of it, and you can burn and melt. Colors are important. Now I'll go ahead and post up on the website there the color factors on what each color's power is. Try to get that out here by the end of this week. I've had a couple of people asking about the power behind colors, especially when they're wearing clothes, and that's true. The same does apply for candles for the type of spell work you're looking to do. For example, white for anything positive that you want to bring into yourself, empowerment, things like that. Pink for love, clearly. It's also for children. You can use the pink and the blue to be even more specific about the child that you're praying for or that you have great intentions out there for. Other spell work we'll get into much later about which colors go with certain spells. Those are really important to have. Also, I want to make sure to reiterate again that you do not put other foreign things on there that have nothing to do with your craft. No cell phones, no keys, no toys that maybe some little ones accidentally left on there. Make sure to keep it clean, tidy, dust it. Yeah, it's like nothing else in your house. I swear, it's not only attracting great energy, but it attracts dust like nobody's business, especially them pretty shiny stones. Dust it once in a while. I have found the old-fashioned feather dusters to be the absolute best because they don't snag as often as rags or those nice little Swiffers. They snag a little bit and they'll pull. Good old-fashioned feather duster just seems to go right over them and do the job and not snag and get caught on things. You also, when you're keeping your energies clean and clear, that requires two things. If you've used anything, say a charm that you've always held, say in your purse, for years, because so-and-so gave it to you and it's brought you good luck, and you would really like to put this on your altar, great. Put it on your altar, but before you do, cleanse it. Super easy way to do that, salt water. Drop it in the salt water for a couple seconds, rinse it under cold water while using your intentions of saying, with this water, I wash all energies off, only the good can remain. This will now empower me. And then put it on your altar. You don't want to be bringing all kinds of outside stuff in on it. This is your sacred space. Remember, utmost respect for it, okay? But it's also a place of your power. So, of course, you only want the purest of power on there. You can do this with your stones, with your crystals, your tools, anything. Again, I got all the instructions on the website on how you can cleanse and take care of your altar. But please remember to make sure also that there are some stones that cannot do well with contact with salt water. So again, be sure. If that's the case, moon water. Also, on my blog on that site, I show you how to do the moon water. You can certainly cleanse it in moon water. And if it's something that cannot be in contact with water at all, moonlight. Set it in your window. Again, intention. Set it in front of the window with the intention that you want it cleansed, cleared, re-energized, and then set it on your altar again, okay? So, we've got almost all of these things all taken care of with the altar. If you have any questions, again, I've got an instructional on the website, themagiccabin.com, on how to set up an altar, as well as this. But if you still found that something just wasn't answered for you, don't hesitate for a second to shoot me an email over at contact@themagiccabin.com and let me know, and I'll certainly answer it. And who knows, maybe your question can be the topic of one of our episodes. Until then, I hope everything is just full of bewilderment for you and enchantment. Blessed be.